Hey Hereteks, this is the Uppbeat here at 5 to 1 in the morning, tired as all hell, couldn't think of a better time to make a video. And this is me coming at you with one hell of a fresh video with fresh takes all round. So I've been meaning to make this video for a long time now. And as the title says, this video will be short on where I've been and what's been happening. Since the Doctor Who Battle Report, the channel has slowed down. I've been meaning to get it back off the ground time and time again. I keep saying that it's coming. I may as well just steal Prodos Games' trademark of soon at this point, because y'all probably think I'm talking horseshit. Well, I'm about to explain why it's taken such a long time to make videos like this again. The channel has slowed down, and one of the reasons is I've been active elsewhere, mainly Instagram and Discord. At the start of the year of 2021, I was taken in by a streamer called Let's Make It Orky. I've been very busy moderating for her channel. Her Twitch channel, a link will be in the description below. It's been a great experience, and it's been really great to see her progress and essentially become a high profile streamer and a high profile hobbyist at that too as well. It's been a very enjoyable ride where it's just had nothing but uprisings. With what I mean by uprisings is through Let's Make It Orky, I've been managed to network with many YouTubers across and many other people within the hobby across the board. People like Kirioth, a little bit of a good small talk session with Valrak and stuff like that. It's my networking to get this brand off the ground again has been an extraordinary twist of fate. Obviously, with that happening, it's one of the many things that has largely kept me away from this channel. Some of the main reasons for a slow production these past few years is that uni life getting in the way, which obviously, of course, had to take priority. As I've taken a backseat from a very frequent schedule, if you were there back in the good old days of 6th and 7th edition, you would have known that I used to post quite frequently on a weekly to semi-weekly basis, showing basically me with my beautiful long hair off. I used to make videos, basically commentary on the state of things in the game. I used to make videos on battle reports. I used to make videos on hobby stuff, such and so forth. Now, as I've taken a backseat because, as we've just established, uni takes a while, other channels have risen from the ashes with amped up production qualities. With that, so's the audience expectations. Now this is where I start singing about, what was it, the Black Parade. Because when I was a young boy, at least that's what I've written down on the loose script that I made. Hey, oh, that's fun. So, when I was a young boy, as you can see from earlier channel uploads that I've mentioned before, you can see that my channel was from an earlier time. It was back in the day when you could film a video on your mobile, edit it through the YouTube editor, whack out a video and reap the rewards. You just crank them out, and it was such an enjoyable experience because I enjoyed editing, I enjoyed filming, I enjoyed showing my armies off, my opponent's armies off, even with my really basic painting skills at the time. I still took great pride in them, and should I say to an extent? Yeah, to an extent I still do, because I'm a vain bastard like that. You're welcome. I'm a son of the 8th, in midnight clad, right? Anyhow, before I digress any further, when I was making those videos, this helped me grow within a group that was the Legion of Gamza. Shit! I said the G word. It's time to get me cancelled on Twitter, folks. That's how it goes. That group helped me gain the following I needed to motivate me to make content and video after video after video. It was a great little group at the time, and I really enjoyed meeting the people there, talking to people like Uppbeat, Frosts and Fists, Big Mac Dan Skull, and so forth and so on. It was great for everyone involved. We all enjoyed it at the time, and it got me quite a few subscribers. People enjoyed my content. People were engaging with me on my content. It was a good ride while it lasted. Now these days, if you want to film on your mobile and stuff, you can still roughly do the same. But as new channels have came out the woodwork, like Untitled Tactics, Winter's SEO, Hellstone Wargaming, Guerrilla Miniature Wargames, and many, many more. Now, for some people, these won't sound like new channels that have been around for years, which is agreed. My channel has been out for longer, because I remember when these just came out. You know, this channel was, at the time, it was existing in the same time space as Mini Wargaming was starting to amp up its production quality. It was here during around with Strike and Scorpion, who is still here, thankfully. But again, like, I'm just trying to reference the point that, or emphasize the point more like that, it was an earlier time where it was a lot more like the Wild West. And you could get away with a lot because the bigger names were roughly the same, at the same production value. So as these new channels have came up, so have the production values. The production values have stopped being a bit of here's a quick flash, here's a quick, you know, Windows Movie Maker title, intro, little bit of royalty-free music that everyone used from famous sources and so forth and so forth. The people started buying their own music, started getting really into editing and special effects and such and so forth. We now have a lot more, not just competitive battle reporters, but we also have a lot more professionally edited videos and professional standard videos, things that you would probably expect from a big budget production. Now it's in the public's hands to make great quality videos like so forth. Now, as the production values of said videos and channels have gone up, so has the audience expectation. And if you really want to push ahead with the channel, if you really want your voice heard, you have to amp up your production values accordingly. The days of YouTube's Wild West are gone, and it's no longer land where you can put out small production values if you want to be heard. To put it simply but bluntly, if you have a small production value, you'll get a following, but it'll be a grind to push further. Mostly, you'll just get left behind. It's as simple as that. It sounds harsh, but depending on your perspective, fortunately or unfortunately, it is what it is. If you really, really want to be a voice in this community, you gotta crank those rookie numbers up. This was a hard fact for me to wrestle with, as it meant that my content could never reach to where I wanted it to be unless I, of course, changed and adapted too. So, how did I move forward, or how do I move forward? Well, this lends itself into the journey I've had getting towards that standard. My journey the past 2-3 years has been a classic case of 1 step forward, 10 steps dragged backwards. If I bought equipment for what I considered a bargain price, it simply wasn't good enough. The cameras wouldn't have good focus, either on my mobile, like it used to, or it relied on natural or warm lighting to get the cleanest pictures, which sometimes didn't show the best aspects of my painting as opposed to white LED lights. Now, if you look at this video now, you'll notice the grain under the artificial white LED light. It's shit. It's absolute horseshit. To put on my natural Geordie accent, it's fucking shite, man. How are you? It's just not good enough for the standard of my models, and if I'm being honest, it only puts me to shame, as I know I and my models are worth better than that. Mics that I've bought in the past would have feedback, like a white noise, sort of snowy hiss. They would be muffled, and finding the right mic has been a journey. I would constantly have to wait for a better time to get better equipment. Also, editing software was a bitch to get a hold of too. Fucking Adobe. That's all I have to say on that. So, it has been a long grueling time for me to get this channel back up and running. But all hope, viewers, is not all lost. Because now I can safely say we are slowly getting back to business. As you can hear, I've just gotten a great mic, which has given me the cleanest sound I have ever gotten out of a mic. And I have some editing software in the form of DaVinci Resolve, which is exactly what I need to get this channel off the ground again. In the following months to come, I've budgeted myself to be buying equipment bit after bit after bit. This month I bought myself a new mic, a Rode NT USB, and it is fucking beautiful, if I may say so myself. Like, it is chef's kiss. I bought myself a good slider for models and bottle reports when I get a new camera. Buying in preparation. I also bought a new head for said camera so I can get the cleanest slides off. Next month I'll be buying myself a DSLR camera and a professional tripod. Maybe some better LED lights if I'm out and about at the gaming store and I need some better lighting to showcase the best models I can provide and to show off my opponent's collections and the best to do them justice and respect too. Then in the following months after, I'll be buying sound recording gear so I can do battle reports to the best quality I can provide, and I'll also be commissioning artists, and I have a few friends who are artists, to do artworks of avatars of my characters for my sub-factions in 40k. Just so that we can have something a bit more engaging to see on the screen as opposed to this ominous logo you see before you. The hope is that one day I'll have enough to get a working Adobe package to further expand the video quality in After Effects. That in of itself, just because if anybody has played with Adobe, knows what Adobe's like, is going to be a journey unto itself. Oh boy. So what can you expect from this channel right now? Well, you can definitely expect commentary videos for a start. In these commentary videos I'll be expressing various thoughts and feelings I have over many games and communities within the hobby and so forth. Expect a lot of Batman content as usual, outside of recorded video content, more commentary videos on the Batman Miniatures game, as a new Freeze crew is approaching, and I'll be going straight back to the streets of Gotham and into the cells of Arkham Asylum. Oh yes folks, world domination is in sight, as I fight to become the UK's greatest Freeze player, then world's. You, lucky viewer, lucky heretic, get a front row seat to see all that happening. fully expect in the future to have a continuous strain of Mr. Freeze battle reports in the Batman Miniatures game. I expect full memes from this community to get to rabbit on about how I do nothing but Mr. Freeze battle reports left, right and centre when it comes to Batman, or only Mr. Freeze content, because that's where I'm exactly heading. Obviously we will be having other videos on other factions like Joker, Batman, Organised Crime too, because I've got a load of models from older editions and such and so forth. But I will be very happy to see a lot of Freeze content, because he's my boy, he's always been my boy, he's my Arkhamite, he's the one I turn to when I go to Gotham. You'll also see videos on game design as well, as part of my hobby is making tabletop war games and skirmish games, and I'd love to create videos as well as video essays over many games from 40k to one-page rules, etc, etc. I'd love to make videos based on my own tabletop games as well that I've been making since 2012. I'd love to share the ideas of lore with people and such, and I'd love to try and establish further networking with 3D printing sculptors, so you know, people who make models for STL files and sell them off and stuff, to make this dream happen. It's a small dream, but it's a dream I'd love to see, where I could find someone who can publish the rule books, someone who can make the models, as well as myself or another person making the artwork. I have very distinct on my first and my love child game I call Steamvolution. I have a very distinct art style. I have a very distinct tone throughout the game, throughout the lore, throughout the progression of the story of said game, everything. I really want to show off this setting. I'm not going to say anything further because I don't want to spoil it, and B, I really want to make sure on, not trademarks, but copyright, I want to make sure that I'm copyright tight before expanding further on those sorts of videos. I also want to try my hand at creating unofficial audiobooks based on my sub-factions and characters in 40k. I have a few trilogies and omnibuses to make for my Night Lords and my new Black Templars, and they will have a finale of a series of books, maybe just a trilogy, but a series of books that I'm going to entitle or title the Faith and Fear series. We got 9 books before we get to that series. 2 trilogies of Night Lords for one sub-faction passing the torch on to another leader, and then we'll get to the series, and a series of 3 books, a trilogy for my Black Templars to get stuck in. You're going to get invested in these characters, you're going to enjoy the stories, and when that happens, characters will die. I'm not Games Workshop. I'm not going to give you a 4 death. I'm not going to give you Gulliman died and came back again, and Dante died and came back again. That ain't happening. People will die, you'll get sad. But that's because it's the 41st millennium. And what happens there is that life is cheap and you won't be missed. So, speaking of 40k, where are we going with that? Have I abandoned it? Not in the slightest. Although I have many things to say on the matter, like any good salty member of the 8th Legion, Sun and Midnight clad to the last, I wish to become the #1 source for Night Lords videos and content. I want to be the voice for the Night Lords community when it comes to our Batty Boys. There's a few people who post on Night Lords, but they don't have a focus on Night Lords. I want my channel to be a focus, or the focus for Night Lords, similar to how Implausible Nature is the main voice to go to when you go to Black Templar videos. Many people make Black Templar videos, there's nothing against that, but when people want to talk or want to watch something about Black Templars, they go to Implausible Nature. I want to be singing in similar to the same light. I want to be, when people speak of Night Lords, I want people to go check out the Warp Forge. He's our boy. So yeah, we won't just be featuring Night Lords. They will have a dominant focus on the channel, but we do have other armies that I've been building up slowly over the years as well. They're still being built and painted to this day. Again, hopefully I can share more of that journey once I get a DSLR camera. So what other armies do I have under my disposal? Well, I've got my Red Corsairs. Love them. Love Huron Blackheart's character. Again, I love the idea of having space pirates. Just ramming in Davy Jones, some Ailstorm, get cracking on this Ailstormathon, and just painting out some space pirates. I'm definitely going with the heavy Davy Jones vibe of that. I have Iron Warriors to build, and these are going to look like they came straight out of a death metal album. I want them to be like filled with barbed wire. They look chunky. They're an army of trash pandas, as according to my own lore of my own warband, led by none other by Lord Barbarous Tartarus, the Lord of Barbs. We also have other armies that aren't just chaos, and those armies are my Necrons, which I've painted as a Troncron scheme. They're still getting painted, as just taking a little bit of back seat right now because of my other army, the Black Templars. It is time for an eternal crusade, Grimaldus. So yeah, I will have High Marshal Helbrecht and Grimaldus because I did buy those recently. I have currently just over 2,000 points. I'm probably going to have roughly up to 3,000, 3,500 points of Eternal Crusaders to paint. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting to see, folks. There will be a lot of content that I look forward to finally being able to share to this hobby, to this community, on my hobby journey, along with you all for each faction in what I'll probably make a journal series on what I've been up to. This journal series will be it will be a weekly basis video log, and it'll be a showcase of what I've been doing from various games, from various angles, from 40k to Batman and such and so forth. Hopefully there'll be something there for everyone here in the darkest pits of the Warp Forge. So before I sign out, just a casual reminder that we do have Discord and a link in the description section below that lets me show you where I'm active and all my social links. When you click the link below, it'll show you more progress on my hobby stuff. The channel's not dead, hasn't been fully dead for a while, or at least the quote-unquote brand hasn't been dead. But if you want to see hobby progress if you want to see hobby progress of my stuff on all the armies I've discussed, all the games I've discussed, all the content I want to make, all the links are down below in my link tree. So, this is the Warp Forge. Thank you for listening. I'm signing out. I'm going to conk out in this bed. And remember, keep on forging. The pretty lady says, bottom to